I can see how these things become addictive. Who cares about building houses and making vlogs? Like, I'm flying drones now. I'm already in the drone zone. So I'm back on site, and as we talked about last week, we've got our first construction camera up in the corner there, and we have got another one that we're going to put on the front fence looking forward. One of our viewers, Pete, asked about what cameras we use, what time-lapse cameras we use, what drone, and we'll also even tell you about the Canons that Sam's holding and the one that I've got. I'm Josh, a builder here in New Zealand. This video is all about capturing construction footage. If you haven't already, go ahead and click subscribe, and let's jump into it. And we're back at the Y for 2 house. Hopefully it's going to get moved very soon. Guys have done a little bit of work on site. We're here to check on this camera, pull it down and just make sure it's working. One of the first tips I've learned is very early on, once you set one of these cameras up, make sure that you check that it's working. There would be nothing worse than setting this up, leaving for a couple of months, thinking that it's got all of your footage and it's pointing at the clouds or it's not even been turned on. So one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to pull this out, check it, download the footage off the card. We'll show you that now.
How'd that go?
Good. Now we just need to pin the house mover down to an actual day because everything hinges on him. So what do you reckon, Sam? Do we go here? The only thing about there as well is it's above the fence, or do we go here? Should we try out down here? Kind of like a... I
think lower is good because we want to see the house being raised up.
Okay, this is Josh's super flash, temporary, and this is my client's hammer, by the way. Ben, your hammer's famous. These clips that these Brenos come with are real handy, eh?
Yeah. So what do the Breno cameras come with?
Wow, Sam, I'm glad you asked. So this Breno here, sorry, hold the line cooler. Tom. Awesome, yeah. So, typical, I'm on one site sorting out another site's drama. Just sending the flooring guy plan while Sam sorts out the time lapses. Day in the life of a builder boss. Hey, so let's go to the next site. Hey, someone commented, did you see that comment the other day about the camera gear?
Yeah.
I think Pete asked us to explain like all the gear we're using. So why don't we, when we get on site, we'll do a bit of a talk about all of the different pieces of equipment we're using camera-wise.
Sounds good.
Time lapses and portaloos have nothing to do with each other. This is a TLC 200, this one here. This is one of the first two cameras I got way back when I was doing the section nobody wanted. And I've done a video about buying and setting this camera up. So check this video out here because that explains this a little bit more. At the time, I was weighing up using a GoPro versus this, and I'm so glad that I went down the route of choosing the Breno cameras. I bought these ones at PB Tech in Wellington. I have two of these green ones, ding ding, and I have two of these in the BLC, is it? 200. Ding, ding, ding. I actually have 3 of those. The black ones, which are slightly better quality, but basically this does the job, and it comes with this little case. The only other additional thing I would recommend is buying a little bracket mount. The one that comes with this is plastic, and I broke it like literally within a couple of days. Those clips up there are designed for Swan cameras, and I got that from J-Car in Lower Hutt. I think it's like $20, but it just screws into the mount here. So screw the mount wherever you want, swivel it around, and then yeah, piece of cake. $20 attachment. I think this is about $350 from memory. Basically, this is a Breno camera.
One of the tricks we've used for the gear is to keep a spare SD card in the camera bag, like with us all the time. So when we go to sites like this, we can always swap a card over, get the footage off, and add that to the vlog. So we're putting in this new card. It was the other way.
Camera chat with Sam.
Back in, card's ready to go.
So what settings are we going to put this one on?
We are reading the SD card, and we're going to keep it on 5 minutes because that just seems to work the best ratio wise with the battery life and the rest of it. So we've still got 3 bars, so that's all good. Don't need to change the batteries over. I think we'd change them if it was on 2 or 1, but 3 bars will get us a couple weeks, so we know we'll be back here in time to change it and make sure it's always recording. So we're going to put this back up here.
Always be filming, eh?
Yeah, always be filming.
This is just one of the camera tools we use on our construction vlogs. Now let's talk about the drone. Whoosh. Awesome. This is Sam's DJI Mavic. Let's open it up. So in here, we have a drone. This is what a drone looks like. Honestly, I have never actually even opened this or flown one. I leave all of that stuff to Sam. Stick to what I do best and let Sam do what he does best. But is there a button to push? Oh, I see. Those ones, that's a trick for beginners. Those ones, these ones fold like that, but those ones fold like that. Looks like this is propellers a bit worse for wear, Sam.
Yeah, that was roll the clip.
So controller, and let me see if I know what I'm doing here. Phone. Oh, that's cool. Sticks in there. Man, they've thought about everything. DJI Fly. Turn this on. And then this, same deal.
Yep, tap it on the button and then hold it down. And then hold that button down. Up.
So I'm no expert. This drone shoots 60 frames per second. 4K footage, man, gotta love that 4K. But this sounds crazy. What I have learned is that if you shoot in 4K and then you want to crop into a little part of it, you can still crop in and it still be HD. How many builders know that? Each battery up there on the drone will last for 30 minutes. So, whoa, that's a cool shot of the speedway and stuff, eh? Obviously, Sam and I follow the rules that you can find on the New Zealand drone info website. I think it's FIA. And we're only flying above ourselves and sticking to all those rules. Always stick to the rules. Hey, so there's Upper Hutt through the gap there. That's cool. You're thinking about getting a drone, you totally should. This is actually, I'm totally forgotten about the camera. I'm already in the drone zone. I can see how these things become addictive. Who cares about building houses and making vlogs? Like, I'm flying drones now. Let's return the drone to home. I'm gonna push this button here, and do I just hold it?
Yeah, you just tap it.
So we've also got, I just found out here, tripod, normal and sport mode, and basically what Sam's telling me is it's about like how much speed. So tripod is slow, normal is normal, and sport mode is faster. meaning that the battery would use less or more power. Conversely, it would be more affected by, say, the wind. Take that, Casey Neistat. Hey, I'm Josh, and I'm launching a drone from my hand. Kind of, because I have to go like this.
So should we try and move on and say like, so that's the drone, that's one of our go-to tools, and next on to the cameras.
I don't want to move on that, Sam. You've just like, it's still smoko.
Yeah.
I've got 30 minutes of my break time left. Time to move on. Home, land. Now, let's move on to talking about the Canon cameras. Let's go and get a coffee, Sam, and then we'll talk about the cameras. Man, these guys do a good coffee.
Epic B-roll of grandma walking across the road.
Granny crosses the road. This is my EOS 800D. It is pretty entry level. At the time, I didn't want to spend any more than $2,000 on a camera. It was an upgrade. It shot HD. I don't think it shoots 4K, which means I can't crop in. And one thing I have done, I purchased and upgraded the lens, and I have kept this lens on here permanently since I got it, pretty much. I've got my Rode Studio Micro on top. I can flick the screen out. I can hold it like that. I can even ride my bike with one hand and hold that and talk at the same time. I can set it up here on a tripod. So this is my SLIK tripod. To be honest, I know nothing about tripods, but I did know the first tripod I got was a plastic fantastic version. It was 50 bucks from Noel Leeming, and obviously it got broken on site within about a month. Whereas this is metal and like nice solid clips. Getting things set up as quickly as possible is the name of the game, because at the end of the day, I'm building houses first and foremost. I have now got selfie mode going, and I'm like, hey, I'm Josh. This is my building vlog. You should subscribe. You know, before Sam came along, I literally made 100 episodes myself, and for about 50 of them, I used this. For the first 50 though, I actually used this. A combination of this plugged in to this, and I would just literally selfie mode and then just go around like that. You know, that was actually sufficient quality for YouTube videos. And we still use that stuff as well. Like we've done the stealth mode at Mitre 10. And so Sam is also using a EOS 70D, and Sam will tell you about that now.
I'm not a vlogger, I'm a behind the camera kind of guy. There's Josh snooping. This camera I got secondhand. It does the job. We got a second battery for this camera just because we're filming all the time and we don't have time to charge the battery. We'll miss shooting the content, so it makes sense to just be able to switch in another battery and just keep rolling all day.
Comment if you want part 2 for us to talk about the lapel mics and what we've learned with that. And the gimbal and some of the other toys we've got. Yeah, but you have to subscribe for that. That's super subscriber content. Can I go back to work now?
No.
As always, if you're still watching at this point, thanks so much. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you like, subscribe, tell us what camera gear you're using to film your build content, and we'll catch you on the next building vlog.